Now we're going to draw some real-world objects in two-point perspective. We'll start with a table. For the table, we want to draw that vertical for the front leg of our table, perhaps. And again, use your ruler to make sure that it is completely parallel with the side of your paper. Draw those orthogonals from the top and the bottom of that vertical. Orthogonals that lead to the vanishing point on the left, and orthogonals that lead to the vanishing point on the right. Be very careful with your measuring. Make sure that those lines converge. Then we're going to drop the back end of that table. Again, making sure that our lines, our vertical lines, are completely parallel with one another and with the right and left side of my page. Now that I've dropped those verticals, I'm going to create orthogonal lines that lead back to the opposite vanishing points here. Here again, this is the first corner that is hitting me in my line of vision. So everything to the right of that first vertical is going to have an orthogonal line that goes to the left vanishing point, and everything to the left of that first vertical is going to go back to the vanishing point on the right. I like to call it crisscross applesauce. And there we have a box in two-point perspective, but we're going to turn this into a table. So I want to drop some more verticals for my legs. Now this one in the front, I'm going to see both sides of that, so I'm going to drop a vertical on the right and on the left. I'm going to put some sides on my table, so I'm going to draw some more orthogonal lines here. And I'm going to draw one over here. And I probably will see that table leg. The way to find out is to draw an orthogonal from here and from there. This one is to the right of that initial line, so I'm going to go back to the vanishing point on the left with this orthogonal line. And this one here is going to go back to the one on my right. And I can see now that this is crossing back here. So I am not going to see that back leg, because that back leg would be right here. So it's hidden by this table edge there. Now I just need to create some more verticals for that edge of the table leg, so it looks more three-dimensional. Now that we've tried our hand at a table, we're going to try our hand at a chair in two-point perspective. So we're going to create just a simple basic chair. So this is the first vertical I'm going to drop for the front corner of my chair, and drawing those orthogonals back to the right and the left vanishing points. Now I'm going to drop another vertical to create the other side of my chair there. I want to drop a vertical here for the back side of my chair. Now we're going to try something that some of you have tried to do before, and you may want to try it in your 2-point perspective city, and that is a car or a truck. We are going to see the front corner of that vehicle. So again, we want to drop that vertical. I know this is going to be way out of proportion with the table and the chair, but we're going to try it anyway. Drop that vertical, drop your orthogonals that go back to the vanishing point on the left and the one on the right. And then we'll drop another vertical here to determine the front end of that vehicle, making sure our verticals are completely parallel to one another, and the back end of that vehicle. Now what I'm going to do is freestyle it here just so you can see how this vehicle would look in 2-point perspective. We would have to drop a vertical here and here for the cabin of the vehicle and create an orthogonal from these 2 points back to the vanishing point on the left. We would then have to create an orthogonal from this corner back to the vanishing point on the right, and that will create the roof of my cabin, of my truck, right about here. And the wheel is going to be here, but because it's in 2-point perspective, it's not going to be a circle. It's going to be more elliptical because of our angle. And of course, part of it is hidden. We'll have another wheel back there, and it's going to look smaller. So we take the top of the wheel we drew in the front, line that up with the vanishing point in the back to the right, and that's where the top of our wheel will go. It'll fit just in between these 2 orthogonals, just like this one does. Now for the back end of our open bed of this truck, we're going to draw an orthogonal from this point over to the opposite vanishing point on the left. And that will be where the end of our truck is. Then we can of course drop the vertical here to see the inside of that flatbed. And there's our vehicle.